Hey guys, Waddler-D, we're back for more Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, and we are now heading into Egyptian territory, which feels a little bit odd, but I'll take it. And Alfred is going to be our lead man for this particular stage because of what he can bring to the table. For one thing is that he has Burning Spear, and Burning Spear is a really damn good ability. For one thing, it pretty much like creates this nice flaming shield that protects you from really weak not that weak enemies, and that's pretty damn awesome. But it also protects you against most projectiles, not all, but most. And we're gonna get a nice demonstration at with these dudes. Basically, Alfred is going to be your go-to mage, and he has the sub-weapons to make it work. But he does not have a lot of health, as you can see. I mean, he just took a third of his health with that weak-ass shot. That's kind of scary. And as you can see, his main weapon is a freaking rod, and it takes about almost a full second for it to actually hit anything. So, very big question mark for viability of that. But as you can see, Burning Shield is just really damn good. And if you're thinking Burning Shield is the shit, here's another thing to keep in mind. Ice Beam, or in this case, Frost Caliber. And Frost Caliber does one of two things. Don't know why I did that. You can basically jump on frozen enemies or items, and then you can kill them in one hit. And it doesn't have to be some other character. Alfred can do this shit. That's really great. That is one great reason why I use this guy. Also, I would be able to try to jump on that guy, but apparently Miriam just decides to overlook that entirely and doesn't land on him. It ticks me off because it looks like she should be doing that, but for some reason, nothing. So yeah, Alfred is definitely the go-to person for this level because of all his abilities just are made to make this level a breeze. That's pretty much Alfred's MO. If you have the abilities and you have the weapon points to spend, Alfred will get you through most rooms without lots of problems. Now, when there's a lot of death pits, then Alfred's going to be like kind of out of luck. So be mindful of that. And if you're using Alfred for longer than you should, or in rooms that you shouldn't be using him in, like for instance a lot of platforming or just a space where you don't have, for instance, the weapon points to make him useful, he should be not the point man at that particular part of the stage, because otherwise you're going to be running into issues. Like this enemy I won't be able to deal with because I don't have Burning Shield on my, or Burning Spear on my hands. It's that crucial to know what particular ability or sub-weapons to have at certain times. Otherwise you're just going to run into the issue where you take unnecessary damage, and unnecessary damage is very much a bad thing, and not just this game, but in all games. I do like the fact that this pyramid has invested in a nice jacuzzi that's full of flaming fireballs and all that good stuff. And now we're in the freaking ball section where we have skulls instead of... Yeah, you get the point. This place is not friendly. And with the courtesy of the blood-tipped spikes, it just tells you, man, I should not really be in this area, should I? You are so damn right. Luckily, this is one of those ever-so-level gimmicks that we run into in most platformers, where we have a ceiling that wants to smash us into the floor, sometimes with spikes laced on the ceiling. And, I mean, all you just need to do is be patient, know when to duck, know when to not stand in particular areas, and know when to jump, and you'll be fine. Like, this part is where it probably gets the most interesting, because you get these rats that seem to just pop up left and right. I don't know how they're doing it from the sand and how they're not being affected by said sand, but maybe their feet are nice and webbed, so they don't even have to worry about that. Now, next thing we got to talk about is multiple routes. Multiple routes is this game's bread and butter, because for one thing, you're going to have all these characters, and all these characters are going to be the ones to fit in these spaces. For instance, Miriam is the only one that can collect this. If you try with anybody else, you're going to find that, nope, They obviously cannot make that jump. So just keep that in mind. Also, let's see what else am I thinking of here. Also, it's important to keep your characters alive, because the problem with not doing that is just the matter of dealing with bosses and just stages without that point character. Because you see those skeletons pointing. They're trying to tell you the shortest route, basically. And now we have Valfor, and Valfor is quite honestly one of the easiest bosses in the game, because Valfor is basically brought on with gimmicks. Watch out for the hand that's pushing the gold. That actually hurts. I don't know what happens if you get smushed into the wall with the gold, but I'm assuming instant death. And I would not recommend you testing that, because that would not only be humiliating, but also just no good. Valfor should not really give you any trouble, because this is all the extent of the attacks. Pushing gold, trying to crush you with a double axe handle smash, which could also help you out there, and then summoning people that he or she doesn't really give a shit about. I don't know what gender Valfor is. I'm just going to assume asshole is high on the list. By all means, though, you should not really have trouble once you figure out that Miriam is probably the best lady for this job, and you could possibly do this in one cycle if you're really relentless. But once you get done with it, you got to deal with this attack called El Dorado, and it just basically starts blinding you right at the end. But you should not really have any trouble with that attack, let alone the boss. Though I don't understand how gold turns into dead people. That's crazy, scary, and damn, I don't want to be in that room anymore. Now we get to meet the last of our party members, Gebel. I think I said that right, but Gebel is looking very familiar. Are you related to Dracula? Zangetsu is pretty pissed off about him. Sharpbrenner, you fucking asshole. And then, but Gebel, being the very good diplomat, decides to tell him, hey, dude, I got all these great powers, and our objective is aligned. We should probably work together. And then he's like, fine, you gotta make a good point there. Fine, you can come with us. So Gebel is our final party member, and he is a very interesting case. For one thing, he has absolutely no sub-weapons to speak of, because he only has one ability. And we'll talk about it with the sign. Thank you, sign. He has the ability to summon bats from his cloak. Very, very suspicious. And he can turn into a bat. Oh my god, this guy is literally Dracula, or his better-known half, Alucard. And yes, all his abilities will use your weapon points, so first thing you can understand is that this guy is probably going to be a massive weapons point hog. And you would not be wrong. He devours them like a kid would with candy. So keep that in mind while you're using Vlad. But other than that, he's a really, really good asset to the team, because he has the first form of main weapon anti-air. The first and almost only form. Now we got stage 4, and this is where we get Gebel in front, because, you know, anti-air and all that good stuff. You want to have this man up front for this level, because not only does this level kind of cater to him, you also just want to have somebody that can hit above your head, because this level is vertically inclined to a high degree. Like, you're going to be climbing up more than right, if that makes sense. And here's a nice demonstration of Immortal Metamorphosis. Immortal Metamorphosis definitely is a great tool for moving anywhere on the screen. As long as you have A, the weapon points, and B, you don't get hit by flying enemies like this guy, waving back and forth, making me think of Medusa heads minus the snake-like hair. It's something you don't want to have happen, especially over a death pit. Yes, Gebel does have those issues, but this is one thing you're going to be doing with Gebel. Man, that is really damn awesome. And you see, as you can see, the skeleton saying this is the right way. You should definitely go this way. Also, Gebel handles these assholes very well. These guys are going to become a increasing nuisance throughout the game. Right now, they're just this red tinted armor shenanigans, and it's only going to get worse. They're going to be like a nice shiny silvery tint later on, and they're going to take more hits and throw more axes. Now, while Gebel has a good anti-air, it's not the best. Reason being, it's more anti-air than ground case scenarios. See how that Brat's just perfectly fine. So, one of two options when you have a situation where Gebel can't reach the enemy. You switch to somebody that can, or you just try to avoid the enemy and move on. I honestly would say kill everything, because you're going to get something out of it. You're going to possibly get some money, or some health, or some nice, like, blue bottle. So keep that in mind. But yeah, Gebel, there's nothing really wrong with Gebel. The only thing that really takes away from the man is that since he doesn't have any sub-weapon except changing into a bat, he doesn't have very many offensive options. So when dealing with particular situations where you want to have some damage dealing, Gebel's only going to be dealing damage with his main weapon. There's no other means to do so. Kind of sucks, but it's pretty much all you can do at that rate. Now I'm going to show you one of the nice things about this multi-route shenanigans that we have. The ones where basically you have particular routes you should take. You have choices early on in the game where you have this flaming golem, and you can't obviously hit him for anything, and I'm pretty sure touching it will probably kill me, but you can either freeze him, or you can fly over him with Gebel. And it's nice to know that there's options, but with more party members, you're going to start to learn, man, I should have grabbed that with a different character. Yes, because the characters have their own life bar, it's gonna suck if you don't have the particular character out to grab the particular sub-weapon that you need to get through an area. Like this one, Alfred pretty much destroys this area left and right. But if you decided, I think I should get that with Miriam, and then realize, oh crap, I'm dealing with a bunch of damn frogs, and I got a dagger, you're gonna start to realize that managing your characters is going to be the utmost importance. And once you master that, this game becomes pretty easy. And by pretty easy, I mean it becomes like a speedrunner's dream. Like, if you know what to do in each scenario, you're going to not have very many problems. But that's only if you know what you're meant to be doing, and that requires playing the game. Now, one thing I really haven't talked about is the style matters. You know, where you start a game and it asks you the question, do you want casual or veteran? Veteran is certainly my route to go because it's a retro-based challenge. Like, you take damage and get knocked back, you have lives. It just feels so much better to have that challenge because casual is really babying you hard. Like, it will just give you absolutely nothing. That's interesting. So basically, another thing that Gebel can't do, break walls. That sucks, but good to know. Good to know. So if you have Gebel and he's the only one left, good luck trying to break anything. That is good information. But yeah, back to the style. It's good to try casual for a bit, but once you get this game under your belt, you should challenge yourself. You should make yourself feel better. Because this game, while not easy, is certainly not like freaking Castlevania hard in most cases. So you should be okay. Ow, except that guy. Alright, so now we're at the end of this level, and we've gotten pretty much all of our characters under a belt, understand what each of them can accomplish, and we're going to get a nice showcase of what happens when everything is set up correctly, because we definitely want to have a good setup for this next boss, and we definitely want to show off all the attacks that you're going to be dealing with. You're an asshole, buddy. Just go home. this is a good setup. I mean, all the perfect abilities to have here, because we're going to be fighting something big and nasty. Yeah, that's pretty not cool. Wow, okay, we are literally fighting a two-headed Hydra. Bad. So this is Valak, and Valak is a very annoying boss if you're not aware of his technique. See this boss's attack. Frickin' shoots out a screen-long fireball attack. And yes, it is fireballs, because look what this does. Oh man, that's really much done. But you cannot do that to those other projectiles, those what I would like to call pain burst. And if you sit right here, the boss does this. They both do that shenanigans. Very frustrating. So you're going to have to find a really good way to deal with these guys, or just be relentless. And by relentless, I mean getting in this guy's face and smashing an axe into it. Yeah, that's one way to take care of that bottom head, because once you take care of the bottom head, the top head becomes very trivial. Like, you can literally just sit right here, and you won't have to worry about the boss actually hitting you, and you kill him really quick. But you're thinking, man, that was not so bad. Well, that's just the first phase. And you're saying, phase? What are you talking about? Desperation tag now, right? No, Desperation tag is actually a second phase. And this is where Miriam's axe gets more love, but you want to get out of the way, because that attack comes, and I don't think you're going to be able to block that with Alfred. Let's see if we can. Yeah, that is definitely not blocking. Shoot! So yeah, Alfred is not going to be your go-to person for this part. And you got to watch out for that, because... okay, we're going to need some people that are not going to die on me. That's great. So yeah, Axe is going to be your best friend for that part. All in all, it's a very interesting challenge of a boss, but it's nice to see when everybody jumps in and kicks ass, except Sengetsu. Sorry, we forgot about you, man. Maybe next time. Alright, in the next level coming up, will be an interesting one, but we are running out of time at the moment, unfortunately, so let's just get the intro to this level and understand the awesome song that's about to play. So next time we're going to talk more about stage 5 and 6, and we're just going to talk more about the stages themselves, since I'm pretty sure I dumped a ton of information about the characters upon your head. So thanks for watching, have a great day, and adios.